Okay, so we're ready for our pitch competition. And I want to get started by introducing our entrepreneurs. So we have Patricia Reese and Deborah Tingley from Gaisling. Peter McEwen will be presenting for Career Day 365. We have Novelli and Nitya Garg presenting for Charity Dress, Edward Sullivan for Good Wealth, and Bakash Behera for Sweta. So a brief introduction of our judges. We have John Jones. John, would you like to stand up? No? John Jones is Chief Investment Officer and Social Impact GM at GSV Labs. He's also a winner of last year's Wharton Pitch Competition. We have John Gargani. All of you have met him this morning. There's John. And then we have Chris Atageka, who is founder for Rides for Lives. He's an award-winning serial social entrepreneur and recently was announced to be the selected World Economic Forum Young Global Leader as of yesterday. So congratulations. All right, so we're ready. Okay, so Patricia.
There we go. Instead of starting as a company looking to make a social impact, we started with making social impact and then formed a company to support it. Hello, I'm Patricia Reese. My business partner, Deborah Tingley, and I manage the nonprofit Memory Care Cafe and now the California B Corp, Gezellig Magazine, Inc. In 2013, we created Memory Care Cafe, a Bay Area nonprofit that provides social outings for people with Alzheimer's. In 2015, the Wharton Social Impact Conference inspired us to start a benefit corporation to support our nonprofit. The new Gezellig Magazine app extends our mission to help caregivers stay engaged. Here's the challenge. There are over 34 million informal caregivers helping older adults in the US. The number of people over 65 is projected to double by the year 2050. A lot of us will become caregivers. More than 1/3 of caregivers say they need help finding activities and list this as a #1 unmet need. Our solution is Gezellig, a modern digital magazine app with focus on uplifting, engaging activities for care partners at home. Gezellig is a Dutch word that connotes a cozy, upbeat, and enjoyable atmosphere. Gezellig presents 7 areas of engagement. Go, getting out with and moving with a purpose. Words, meaningful thoughts and actions with words. By hand, easy crafts that inspire. Outside, connecting with nature. Senses, treats for the 5 senses. Digital, engaging through the internet. Food, easy recipes to make together, as well as new and noteworthy information. Our specific target market is about 1.3 million, taking into account internet use and the capacity to seek engaging activities. This table represents magazines in the aging and caregiving sector, but they are not direct competitors. Gezellig is the only magazine that is focused on activities and engagement for care partners at home and available in a contemporary app format. Our metrics of success will be more than 20,000 subscribers, 7 advertisers per issue, high app ratings, reader participation, survey results showing advocacy impact, and major media coverage of our mission. Our projection is for Gezellig to fully support Memory Care Cafe by 2019. Gezellig will have inherent social impact through advocating for senior engagement and participation, whether at home, in town, or online. Help us spread the word about Gezellig. We are actively looking for advertisers and marketing support. Thank you, and we'll now take questions.
Great job. The visuals really helped bring your presentation alive and helped us envision what it is you're working on. I'm curious about your target market size of 1.3 million. I actually thought it might be higher. I'm curious as to how you came to that number and how sustainable that is in the context of running a business.
First answer first. This, of course, the prerequisite is using the internet and being able to look for engaging activities, which is a certain segment of the larger population. People who have internet and people who have cell phones. Our magazine is also an app, so the prerequisite is to be able to use those devices to access our activities. And the second one was?
Market size.
The market size. Yeah, the market, of course, is much bigger, but our metrics have shown that this is the right number to expect for the use of the internet and seeking activities. It's a certain kind of educational level as well that is a prerequisite for using our app.
Good job again. My question is, like, how far along are you right now? And it kind of circles around user acquisition. If you've acquired users, how have you got them? If you're planning on getting them, how are you planning on getting those users and retaining them?
So currently we have our app on the iTunes Store. You can look at it now on your phone. We have a free sample. We're switching platforms, and so what we are actually aiming for, and what we were aiming for initially, is to be on all devices, which means desktop, iPad, iPhone, Google Play, and Amazon Kindle. What was the second part of your question?
How are you planning on retaining, keeping the users?
Well, we have a built-in survey. If you go to our magazine, you will find that we have a survey on our actually paid issue. So we will pivot and navigate or go in the direction that our users actually like our magazine best.
I have two questions. The first is I don't quite understand the economics. It seems like there's a lot of content that has to be developed for the magazines, and the revenue is going to come, if I understand, from advertising and subscription?
Subscription sales.
Okay. So I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. And if it's meant to subsidize the Memory Cafe work, how does that factor into how you think about the impact this will have?
Right, so our metrics have been calculated to be fully supporting in year 3 with 20,000 subscribers. I forgot the first part of your question.
That it seems like there's a lot of content that needs to be developed,
Yeah.
and that may be quite expensive. And
Well,
I'm
yeah.
trying to understand the economics
Yeah,
underneath this.
so we're currently developing our own content. If you go to our magazine, you will find that we have 7 times 2 activities per issue. And so we have 14 articles per issue, 7 advertisers, and other items in there. So we are developing our business plan according to that metric. By year 3, we will have a monthly issue. So now we have 6 per year, and then we will have 12 per year. And we will also acquire writers and other contributors. Thank you.
Okay, we're out of time. All right, next up we have Peter McEwen with Career Day 365.
Can you hear me okay? I heard there were sound problems. Great. Do I get a clicker? Okay, cool. Are you going to start me, or do I just get to go?
Yeah, ready?
All right. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Peter McEwen, and I'm here to talk to you about Career Day 365. Career Day 365 is a nonprofit organization that's really dedicated to creating an online space and a community for professionals to interact with young people, high school and college students, with the aim of providing career mentoring and career exploration. I really like to think the simplest way to describe it is Big Brother, Big Sister meets LinkedIn. So what is the problem that we're trying to address through our nonprofit organization? It's really important to understand how underserved a lot of our low-income students are in the US educational system. And then on top of that, career exploration curriculum is really one of the bottom priorities. So you have counselors, career counselors if they have them, or guidance counselors in high school who have more general responsibilities, who are on average have a 1,000-to-1 student ratio. You have a real lack of these resources being developed as curriculum tools for teachers to use. And what you also have is relatively inconvenience of doing a mentoring program for busy professionals to find time during that 3 to 5 after-school hours to go to an after-school site is quite difficult. So we believe that we have been able to provide a solution through an online platform. So what we're trying to do is put the engagement, to put the community into people's hands in a convenient and flexible tool. We think that through this tool, we can give access to our young people. There are 75 million young people in our school systems, and they can interact in a fun way with these career professionals. For our teachers, our guidance counselors, our professionals working in the schools, it provides a supplement to their curriculum at a very low cost, and it also provides a great resource that they may not be being able to leverage or use in their classrooms. And then for the nearly 300 million professionals out there interested in volunteering and giving back, it provides a very convenient and easy, flexible way for them to do this philanthropic work. With Career Day 365, we really feel that on either the supply side, the professionals, or the demand side, the students, you can really access this community anywhere, anytime, and from any device. The second piece, though, we're wondering is, are these two communities willing to come together in one space? These are very different communities when you have high schools and early college students and young professionals. And so we've been experimenting with this community through Career Day Summit, which we launched here in January in this very room that you're sitting in. We were able to bring over 150 high school students from the Bay Area communities into this room with primarily Wharton professionals to share that career journey in an in-person live atmosphere. And that was able to get overwhelming response and encourage us to move forward. Our plan is to iterate this business model through the Wharton School and then eventually through other universities, because we do think that executives provide a strong base for our professional mentors, as we really do understand this career path navigation and the difficulty of getting it right the first time. Our goal is that we can set a model for other business schools to replicate and eventually grow this community across the country, where we'll feel confident that we can launch this into an online platform. We'll be able to leverage the established platforms of social media and business schools. We'll be able to make sure we have a Career Day template that can be replicable, and we'll introduce this through a mobile platform when we gain the funding. Our team is in place, and I think I'm at my time, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, judges?
Nice job. My question, can you tell us a little bit about financial sustainability?
So that's what we're looking into right now. Our goal is to sort of be founded on philanthropic investors or philanthropic dollars through the nonprofit organization. Our goal is that once we develop a large enough community, we can look towards developing a dual organization, so there'd be a for-profit model which would be able to develop a second iteration of our online site and online platform, and that once we have enough people in the marketplace, would be generating data that we could use to generate revenue for a for-profit partner.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the impacts you're hoping to have on young people further down the line?
Yeah, so I mean, we're hoping to help people find the right career placement faster and with less guesswork. So what we're really looking at are metrics that would be involved in the number of career transitions that young people make as they move through their early careers. And then we're also looking at general qualitative survey tools that we can use to really, we've done a lot of surveys to assess the need. We feel like there are a lot of adults out there who feel like they weren't able to find their career placement at their first time. Over the years, we'll be able to aggregate data on the impact that our site has on our participants.
All right, thank you, Peter. Next is Navelli and Nitya Garg, pitching for a charity dress. So Navelli and Nitya will be pitching for a charity dress.
Yes. Yes.
Charity Dress, a 501(c)(3) approved charity.
Enabling kids to help kids.
By Navelli
And Nitya Garg.
In 2010, I started the Jeppy Club, a club where you hug your problems away. That same year in October, I donated to Charity Water.
I started fundraising by creating flags and selling them for $1 each. I used this money to feed the poor.
My dance teacher asked us if we would like to dance for charity, and we gladly approved.
In 2013, when I was 7, I wrote a letter to the president asking him how I could help Santa help the poor. Later, he wrote me a letter back saying I was the next generation leader.
So we created Charity Dress, a great way to make new friends and help other people all around the world.
I could even learn to do business.
We thought that kids could help kids, but we realized that we would need an adult coach, so we thought that my mom would be a great one.
But I discussed with her that with the help of friends and teammates, we could get so much more done.
And that's how our team assembled.
A while ago, we stayed with lepers in an ashram in Haridwar, India.
Kids there had food, shelter, and even a school, but their clothes were torn, and they seemed to enjoy those little things in life. So we thought that we would collect clothes for these kids.
Step 1 is collection, where we collect and store clothes.
Step 2 is the sorting and packaging of clothes. Here, if needed, we also wash and dry them.
Step 3 is distribution. Here we put the clothes in boxes and packages and ship them all around the world. We even have fun with friends.
Sometimes we get to FaceTime with these kids. They tell us about simple things in their lives, and we tell them about our lives. Therefore, there's now a buddy system in place.
As word spreads about charity dress, more and more people start volunteering to distribute.
We have been able to distribute in places like Dharavi,
Mexico,
and Tanzania.
apart from helping others, we learn too.
I asked one of my teachers if I could help her create a website, and she paid me $150 to help me with charity dress itself.
We were short one dress for Tanzania, so I gave mine. I have many.
She convinced herself that she wasn't into sparkly things anymore, but just noticed a lot of sparkly face paint on her face.
Our friends helped in their own unique ways.
We have been able to raise over $2,000, which has been able to send 1,000 sets of clothes all across the world.
Kids like me collect, wash, and pack clothes.
Parents help with the distribution and marketing of charity dress.
Together, we have a lot of fun.
We've also grown our team. We have over 400 likes on Facebook, and we've also won the LinkedIn Transformation Grant.
With over 170,000 slum dwellers, winter kills more than tsunamis.
Plus, dignity and warmth is everyone's right. If we think that once we break down the process into 3 steps, collection, shipment, and distribution, we can help many other people.
Our next goal is to make 5,000 people happy and have a buddy system in place so that we can connect privileged kids with unprivileged kids.
We know our plan and our goal. Now the only question left is, are you in?
No amount is a small amount.
And you can get tax deductions too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just stay there. Okay.
That was amazing. You crushed it.
Thank you.
I have an 11-year-old son, and I would like to know, I know your mom, and she is pretty busy. How are you going to run this business?
So, so far it has been like an individual business where we do all the manual work, and we want to run this business. We first started off as an idea where kids can help kids, and soon we realized that we need an adult, so my mom. But we have other people, so we have like centers all across the world where we collect clothes and they send it themselves. So Charity Dress is like an area where people collect, and it's like a platform where people are able to understand what to do. But, and we're the ones who started it, but there are many other people who are involved with it.
So first, I'd like to say that it's no fair being adorable. That's not one of the criteria that I was provided with. So let me ask you about the longer-term impacts of these clothes. What are you hoping will change beyond the immediate arrival of the clothes, someone who they may connect with? Is there a vision for change beyond that?
Yes, we want people, like many people, they have shelter, clothes, and even education. But one reason that many people die is because of clothes. So we are hoping that if we start this, other people will do it, and like they'll do it just because they want to help people, not because they want to get rid of their old clothes. They truly have the spirit.
And to just back off with her answer, it's kind of like saving lives versus not saving lives. So if these clothes and warm clothes have saved lives from like all these diseases and colds, then it's beneficial in the longer run.
Good job, guys. My question is, besides money and cash, how can adults in this room also get involved?
They can ship clothes because for distributing, kids can't really do that except for giving. So the parents can use those clothes, and they can, if they fly off to business trips, they can just take it there and just drop it off. Because I know a lot of you have business trips here, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Navelli and Nitya. Next, we have Edward Sullivan for Pitching for Good Wealth.
I heard I already lose on cuteness points. So my name is Edward Sullivan. I'm the founder and CEO of Good Wealth. We are a social impact investment platform for retail investors. So I've been told that all good pitches begin with a problem. And the problem today for everyday investors, for you and I, is that it's really difficult to align our investments and our values. This is because the landscape of social responsible investing is very confusing. We looked at a number of these SRI funds and found some of them were social in name only. ExxonMobil being the number 4 holding in one of the largest social impact funds out there. And once you begin looking at the entire landscape, you'll find there's over 500 funds. So for the average investor, this is overwhelming. The second reason that there's an opportunity here, second problem, is that in impact investing, it's actually very costly, very high minimums. So SRI investing is for public assets. Impact investing is more traditionally for private assets. So public equity, public debt, or private debt, they have minimums of $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, $250,000, up to $2.5 million minimums. So I feel kind of locked out from those investment opportunities. I don't know about you. And lastly, you might say, well, forget. I'm going to go source my own impact investing deals. Again, you can forget about it. Because are you actually going to get on a plane and fly to Ethiopia or India or Southeast Asia and meet with social entrepreneurs and source your own deals? You might actually, and I know you will, but most of us in the room and 99% of investors won't do that. So, but there's still an opportunity here because according to Morgan Stanley and other wealth advisors, 71% of investors are interested in aligning their investments and their values. If only half of them put their money where their mouth is, that's a third of all investors. And you can see that the impact investing category and social responsible investing is growing exponentially at this point, 20x in the last 20 years, with $6.5 trillion of of shareholder value in impact investing and social responsible investing. So the solution, Good Wealth, we're the first investment platform to help investors make it dead simple, to help retail investors align their investments and their values. We do this with a very simple user interface that collects information on risk tolerance, liquidity preferences, your desired impact level, and categories you might be interested in having an impact in. With that information, we build bespoke, impact-oriented portfolios that are diversified across asset classes, across geographies, and across domains. This is what a sample portfolio might look like from an asset allocation perspective. Monetization, we simply earn 0.5% on all assets under management. And why us right now? We focus on design and simplicity, mobile ready from the get-go, think Venmo or Robinhood. All assets are scrubbed for maximum impact. Social returns will be shareable on social media, so you actually have something to talk about with your investment portfolio. And we're focusing on low minimums for maximum user growth. Here's the team, and I'm open for any questions.
Good job. Take me through user experience. I want to invest. Go.
Sure. So our target onboarding time is about 5 minutes. We want to learn about you from your risk tolerance. We want to learn what your liquidity preference is, meaning how soon do you need to have your money available to you. Some people want to have it next week. They want to be fully liquid. Some people want to say, I've got a 10-year horizon. Depending on that, we'll make different sorts of investments available to you. And we also want to know how much of an impact you want to have. If you want to have maximum impact, you may be willing to make some you may be willing to have less returns or less interest in other aspects of your portfolio. The entire thing will take about 5 minutes, and this is different from many investment destinations online because we're actually not offering you a huge list of investments to choose from. We're building the portfolio for you. They found that if you give investors too many options, sometimes they just don't make a decision at all. So we want to kind of lessen the number of options and decisions that investors make, hoping to bring in a lot more potential investors.
So I'd like to learn a little bit more about how you go from the user profile to the construction of a portfolio, and why that construction of a portfolio is beneficial in some way.
Why that construction of the portfolio?
Why that particular construction of a portfolio is more beneficial than some other.
So we're still in the middle of kind of building the algorithms for how we develop each individual portfolio. I would say that we'll begin with, let's say, 20 scrubbed SRI funds that will be available on the public side. We'll probably have 10 bond options, 10 private equity or private debt, and using those, they'll all have different impact profiles, they'll have different risk profiles, different return profiles, and we'll be building those with, we're working with actually one of the professors here at Wharton to develop a new category of model of portfolio development called impact factoring. And our goal is to be able to mimic the performance of the market while still providing maximum impact.
It looked like on your toggles that you can toggle up and down risk and you can toggle up and down impact. There's an implied impact there on returns, maybe, maybe not. What's your perspective on trade-off on returns as it relates to your interface?
Yeah, so newer research in the space has actually found that you don't have to make a decision between returns and impact. In fact, sometimes by including out-of-market assets, so private equity or private debt assets in your portfolio, you can actually increase your return while still having maximum impact.
Thank you, Edward.
Thank you.
Next, we have Bikash Behera,
if I could get
pitching for Sweta.
SWETA stands for Sustainable Women Empowerment Through Trade Access. Meet Diptimai Baral, who is a 20-year-old high school dropout. The only skills he had before joining SWETA was tailoring. And she used to generate $30 of productivity and $5 of wealth in a month. And women like Diptimai, who have limited education and limited skills, have little chance of finding a good job. And then enters SWETA. SWETA leverages capital, market, and technology, we'll talk about that, to improve her future and job opportunity. Now, she's working as an electronics technician. She has a steady, regular job, and she's generating $1,500 USD productivity and $250 USD wealth in a month. That's a 50-fold increase in productivity and wealth generated. This is not the problem only, this is not only the story of Diptimai. 100 million unskilled women in India are stuck in poverty as they don't have access to well-paying jobs. How do you elevate them? How do you elevate their standard of living? How do you lift this woman and give them access to better job? The opportunity lies in the huge national demand for mobile products and other consumer electronic products. There's a lot of statistics here, but the key takeaway is mobile chargers, mobile phones, LED lights, solar lights, power inverters, all these electronic products have a huge national demand that is growing tenfold over the next 5 years. And one thing common across all of them is that all of them involve electronic assembly, a skill that you can impact to this unskilled woman, and they can assemble products for you that you can market nationally. So the solution lies in importing technology and training these unskilled women in the art of electronic assembly and selling them under the SWETA brand nationally. We started this a year and a half back in January 2015, and right now we are manufacturing 10,000 units of mobile phone chargers covering all mobile phone types in circulation in India, and we are cash flow positive. We proved that the model works. We were able to hire seven high school dropouts or liberal arts college graduates who outside SWETA didn't have access to a good job, didn't have the right skills, and we trained them in the art of electronic assembly, and now they're manufacturing 10,000 units of mobile phone chargers. And this month, we are scaling up to 20,000 mobile chargers per month. with the help of these 7 women. And we've created a brand that summarizes our mission of women empowerment. And the employees you hire, the partners we work, and the investors that you work with, we ensure they subscribe to the same mission. Our partners also employ women, and that's why we partner with them. Our employees subscribe to the same beliefs, that's why we hire them. And just based on this particular mobile phone charger, this one particular business unit, we project that in 5 years, we'll be selling 6 million chargers, generating $4 million USD of revenue, $1 million USD of profit, and we'll be employing 240 upskilled women engaged in manufacturing. We proved this, and we think you can scale it up. And we expect, like this model we're building this model so that we can scale it up across products and across geographies so that we can impact more lives. And the future products that we introduce, mobile phones, LED lights, solar lights, power inverters, all these products have huge national demand, and they give us an opportunity to broaden our impact. And the key thing about Swetha is it's a market-driven organization. We're focused on the market, we're leveraging market opportunities to create impact. And we know what impact we are creating, we've already proven it, we want to scale it up with a mind to generate profit. Only when you generate, it becomes sustainable. Sustainable women empowerment by giving them access to national and international trade. Thank you.
Nice job. My question is, do you own the IP for the products? Are they your products, or you buy parts and you put them together from someone else?
We buy parts and put them together. So at this point, we are not doing innovation. Our objective, our vision is, our core competency of this organization will be electronic assembly or electronic manufacturing. So right now, we are buying products and buying technology and using women to assemble the products. And all these products are listed, are very amenable to this particular electronic assembly. But in the course of time, we will have electronic manufacturing as our core competency, and we'll start innovating in that area.
So I guess the follow-up is, you're paying your women that work for you well, and how do you stay competitive? Because if someone is using sweatshops and they're charging very little, their price is going to be lower and yours is higher because you're paying really well. How do you stay competitive?
So the key thing that I focus on is high quality product and a brand creation. So in the state that we are operating, we have established Swetha through our marketing as a socially responsible brand. So people recognize the brand. And second, we focus on quality from day one. So if you look at the pricing, so there's a 30 rupees price you can charge for a low quality phone, and 100 rupees for a high quality phone. So by focusing on quality consistently over time, we can start charging a premium. And so a focus on quality and focus on branding is going to help us charge higher and at a higher premium. And essentially, we are focusing on branding success to charge a premium in the market.
So I have a question about sustainability. You're focusing on chargers. I would imagine that over the next 5 to 10 years, that might change drastically in terms of level of competition or the type of chargers that are needed, or maybe there's only one charger. It all becomes a single kind of unit. How does that factor into your long-term plans?
So right now, this is very focused on Indian market. So right now, we have a number of phones in circulation in India. It is not as standardized as in US. In US, you've got iPhone and Samsung that pretty much covers 90% of the market. In India, you get a variety of phones, and you need AC chargers, you need DC chargers. We are supporting 8 different kinds of chargers to cover all the needs. 8 different kinds of chargers. So we realized that over time, these chargers can conform to a single standard. There's a potential for that. But if we establish ourselves as a leading player in the market, doesn't matter where the industry is going, we can always respond to that. But in addition to that, we want to get into other products like solar lights, LED lights. We want to get into other areas that will give us protection against market changes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so can we have all the entrepreneurs come to the front, please? All right. So can we just give a round of applause to all of our entrepreneurs? All right, so I just want to let everyone know that we'll be making the announcement at the end of the conference, and the winner is going to have a 30-minute slot on Dollars and Change, which is a Wharton serious business radio show. And we also would like to give every participant a copy of this book, 51 Questions on Social Entrepreneurship, which is written by Nitil Parekh, who's in our audience. You want to stand up? There she is. She is representing Innovate Social. All right, so starting at 2 o'clock, we're going to have booths set up outside where several of our entrepreneurs are going to have more information so you can discuss their companies there. All right, thank you guys.